Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to cover the setup of the authentication server. I took the liberty of setting up the project which you'll be able to download from GitHub. Let's import the SQL file by opening this up in the file manager, opening up the terminal, running the import command. Let's make sure it imported. And there it is. Let's take a look at what we just installed. Two tables, the player account and the test table. This is the one that we are going to use in this tutorial. Future tutorials will expand upon the player account. Simple, it's got column 1 and column 2, and that's what we'll access in the code. Start off with making some classes. First we'll create the DB task class. I always start my classes with a C and use camel casing. I'm going to paste code in or you'll be forever watching me type. And we've got two types, select and a command. These are to follow the MariaDB methods. Of course, our class is going to carry what type we have, the SQL statement, and then any functions on a success or failure that we want to run depending upon the outcome. Now let's add the DB connection class. Now we need to add the time-lapse autoload. We'll cover the class as soon as we get that done. Start my autoloads with A and camel case. This way I know by looking at the script over here what it is. You know, yeah, you've got your file structures over here, but I can immediately tell by looking at my list here. What this does is this replaces timers. Timers they're kind of heavy, and if you know that you're going to have a consistent timer, then why not build a performant timer? Connection class should now not have an error. This is the main purpose of this is connection pooling. So you create a pool of connections that are immediately available There's no time for connection. The pool's just waiting there for you. Okay, so what this does here is when a connection is issued to something else, this timeout will force it to reset itself. That way, if you forget to change the issued to back to false, it will automatically just return back to the pool. And we have to create the DB autoload as well. And of course we need the config. The purpose of the config autoload is to look into the JSON file to get your configurations. And of course we need file tool data class. Since it's a static class, I start them with, you guessed it, SC. And what this does is help with JSON loading and saving. Config at the top, DB second, time-lapse last. See, let's check this build function. I always check your warnings. You have to run a clean ship, because warnings and errors can cause undefined behavior, and you could be scratching your head over some silly little error that you didn't bother fixing. And now let's add the Auth Server script. You notice all my scripts have a config and they are attached to the config changed signal. That way, if you put your config on a timer to keep checking the JSON file and something changes, you can start and stop services, connections, DBs. What this does is an insert and then a select, what we just inserted. The tasks can be multiple. So you could run a series of, let's say you had a begin and a commit, where you started a series of commands and you wanted to make sure that the previous statement didn't error out. You could roll back if it did. Success. And that will do it for this video. GitHub is in the description below under the tutorial 1 release. You can get this exact code at this state by pulling the tag name. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.